So today we are going to learn about some openings. Okay? And the opening that I wanted to talk about today is called the Ruy Lopez. Okay? It starts with 1d4. Okay? Yes? E4. What is this? I had no idea. So you are all alert now, okay? You know this class is all about me asking you questions, giving you wrong answers. You have to be alert. Okay? Yes? Are there any rated players here? Yes?
Rated means in FI.
FIDE rated. Yeah, online everyone's rated. But FIDE rated. Few of you, 5, 6 of you. Okay, good. Good. Try to avoid like shouting out the answer so that everyone can think. If you know the answer, you can raise your hand. Can you just make sure that I can walk a little bit here? If you can go that side. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So, Ruy Lopez starts with the move E4, E5. Okay, and now the knight comes out to F3. Okay, we are attacking this pawn, and first there are many ways to defend, but the best way is to play your knight to C6. Okay, and now what's the move that white plays?
Bishop E5.
Very good. Wow, this is known as the Ruy Lopez opening. Okay, it's the start of the Ruy Lopez. Now this opening was found by a person named, sorry, Sagar. What's your name? Arav. Do you have an opening after you? Your name? Any Arav opening or something? No? Ruy Lopez was named after? Ruy Lopez. There was a saint. His name was Ruy Lopez. And if I'm not mistaken, it was somewhere around 1600s. So I don't know how that saint thought of this opening. But he said, let's put the bishop here. So someone asked him, why is your bishop here? Doesn't make any sense, right? Is this a good move?
No.
No.
Yes.
This is a terrible move. Why? Because I can just take. It's a free pawn. Correct? I will take towards the center. Correct? You must capture towards the center. Why other pawn?
Because isolated A
What? It opens the queen.
Isolated A pawn. The A pawn gets isolated.
If I take here, the A pawn gets isolated. But don't I get the open B file?
But why not the open queen file?
Yes?
What about the pawn?
What about the pawn here? Then I will lose the pawn. It's still a playable position, yeah, it's not so bad. But clearly, here is a case where you take with the D pawn. And one thing that someone mentioned was the queen gets opened up. What else does this move do? Wow, the bishop is now opened up. And in the opening, one of the main things you want to do is you want to develop your pieces as quickly as possible. But in chess, you know, the rules have to be applied carefully. For example, let's try to go back, because this session is of course about Ruy Lopez, but also about understanding openings. E4, C5, this is known as the Sicilian. Very good. Knight F3, knight C6, D4, pawn takes, knight takes, let's say queen C7 as an example. Knight takes knight. What will you recapture with?
The queen. D pawn. D pawn.
While all moves look okay, right? Taking here is good, taking here is good, taking here is good. My sense says that here you must take with the B pawn. Why? See, your pawn is isolated now, A pawn. Who said A pawn isolated in that? You, right? Here also it's isolated. Why is it good now?
Because
Because
bishop file and the rook file is open.
okay, this is open now. Very good. That, and also the bishop can come out from here. What else?
Create a path.
What is the, yes, center. We are able to control the center very well. Imagine that, let's say black goes knight, white goes knight c3, e6, bishop d3. We will be able to put our pawn in the center, and this is often very good if you can capture the center. So chess is not like there is always one right thing to do. Okay, it's always dependent on the position. So if someone comes and tells you always capture towards the center, then you can give them the example of Ruy Lopez, where you capture away from the center. Okay, so you take here. White was like, by the way, this is the pawn here, right? White was like, oh my god, thank you so much for the free pawn. So happy. No?
No, QD5. Queen D4. QD5.
QD5, very good. QD5. Wow. Thank you. Yes, is this good? Sometimes if you say the wrong notation, instead of winning back your pawn, you will lose the queen. So queen d4. This is a very nice move. It's a double attack, yes. 1 and 2. I bring my knight back. You take.
Check.
I play queen e2. You take the queen. Yes, sorry. You had a question? Queen takes queen. King takes. And now
Bishop D5.
We cannot catch it.
Bishop D5.
And king.
bishop g5. Here?
G4.
G4. Okay. Yes. If you don't say the right notation, I have to put pieces wherever you say. Yeah? I'm just
Before when we gave the check, after the queen came, after the queen blocked, couldn't we have just played QX C2?
but this is pin, no? Like this. You can take here, but your king is in trouble. So you take here, take here. And now let's look at this position. Is loss of castling such a big deal? No, why not? You can do artificial castling. Also, it's like almost we are reaching an end game, right? Queens are traded. It's still, you can say it's still like queenless middle game, but the queens are off the board. So many times without the queen, the position is less dangerous. But what is the big thing here? Like, you have such a beautiful structure as white. You see black has doubled pawns.
Pieces are not
Pieces
there.
are not there.
Pieces are not, no, my knight is out.
But then you
Bishop
take B
and-
and C. You take many pieces.
What is it that black has?
D5. G open file.
Open D file. Wow.
D file.
White has open E file.
Only black has open.
Bishop file.
Yes. Bishop pair. Very good. Bishop pair. Now imagine that bishop pair, and I always give this example that bishop pair is like, you know, like long hair. Okay? Don't have that hair, but it needs the wind. It needs wind to flow. So like, for example, in such positions you need open board for the bishops to play, right? So here you will see that the position is open, so the bishop can come out, this bishop can come out, knight can come out, black can long castle, the rook will come here, and already you will feel that black is much better coordinated and the bishop pair makes a lot of sense. Okay? When are bishop pair good? When there is a lot of wind, when there is a open board. So that makes it very clear, right now. that taking on c6 is not a very smart idea, then there is one more thing I wanted to mention. Bishop b5, a6, bishop takes c6, d takes, knight e5. There is one more move which is good instead of queen d4, which is
Queen f6.
queen f6 is like you will just, I'll come back, I'm pawn up.
Bishop queen g5.
Queen g5 is not a bad move, yeah, it's a very interesting move. It's a double attack. It's just that after knight f3 you take rook g1, queen h3. Maybe the position is not that clear, I'll still attack you. So maybe there's something better than queen g5.
Bishop c4.
Bish-
Bishop c5. Bishop c5.
Bishop c5. Here knight takes e5. You want to play bishop c5? But I'll just come back. Then I'm pawn up.
Queen
e7.
Queen e7. This is another move which is possible. Suppose I defend my knight.
f6.
Oh, very nice. So you blundered. Right? Trouble. Very bad, right? You shouldn't play this way.
No, sir.
No?
g6.
G6. Very nice. Even further blundered. Yay! Fork. Right? White wins. Okay? The white wins. Everyone agrees?
No.
Queen takes e4.
Queen takes e4.
What?
But still you lost the
Queen takes e4 check. King d1.
Queen takes knight.
Queen takes knight.
Queen takes knight. Oh my god, what happened? You said white was winning.
नहीं एक QE4 नहीं QX G6 के जगह पे Bishop G4
The rook comes here and
Bishop G4 double
the rook comes here.
Oh my god, this guy is like super greedy. He's like, why should I win a piece when I can win a queen? Very nice. Good one. What's your name? Hardik. Sorry? Adit. Well done. So I'll go here. At least not to blunder my queen. But then I take this. And suddenly who's winning? Black. Black is a piece up. Yeah, so don't be in too much of hurry to be like, oh, tactics. One of the biggest rules of chess is don't be too excited when you are trying to calculate. If you are too excited when you calculate, chances are high that you will blunder. And one more rule is never end your calculation with your own move. It's a very interesting thing that was taught to me by Vidit very recently also in lockdown. He told me that if you are white, you play knight g6 and you are like, now I'm winning if you are white. But if you are white, you should never end your calculation with your own move, correct? So you must look at your opponent's move. And when you do that, you will see that this is hanging with a check. And so the chances of you missing something will reduce. Will you do that? Will you do that today? Never end your calculation on your own move. Okay? Yes? Are you feeling sleepy? No? You sleep. Next time we'll put beds and all. Okay. Okay, coming back to the exchange variation of the Ruy Lopez, right? Exchange variation is when white takes on c6 and then black takes back, and now white never really captures here,
And c3.
and yes, knight c3 or castles. There are many moves that white plays here. There's also move d4 that white plays, but essentially the idea here, what is white trying to say by giving up? All of you agree that bishop is slightly more valuable sometimes in the opening than knight? Yes. At least in the opening. Then when the position gets clarified and all, then maybe if it's closed, knight becomes better. If it is open, bishop is better. But here, giving up your very precious bishop for a knight, why should white do that? Yes? Very good. So you have doubled the pawns. What is the advantage of that?
Blocking the C7 pawn.
Blocking the c7 pawn. What was this c7 pawn anyway doing? By blocking it.
E5 pawn becomes a potential target.
e5 pawn, I'll always defend it with f6. What is the big deal?
Then they can't actually castle shot.
Why not? Your light square bishop is not there, so this is not a problem. In fact, I am very happy to put my bishop will come here. What is it that white gets in return for giving up the bishop?
Initiative.
How? Development?
Yeah, because we are one move away from
Black's
castling.
position is more open.
Black's position is more open, yeah. So white gave up the bishop and also gave black the open position, bishop pair. As you rightly pointed out, doubled pawns does make a difference, but what it does essentially is, imagine that as white I push my pawn to d4. Okay, this is a very famous game between Lasker, who is white. Lasker is a world champion. Which world champion? Second? Who was first? Rui Lopez was first, right? No? Stenitz. Stenitz was first. Then came Lasker, and number 3 was Capablanca. So here it's the battle between number 2 world champion and number 3. And who is number 18? Nice. So knight takes d4 and we reach this position. And Lasker said that I have a king side majority. Okay, this is very important. He said my king side pawns are more, you have 3 pawns here. And he made a very iconic move which I want to show you, and then we can move on to the next structure. So one of the things in which you can understand any position better is by removing the pieces. Once you remove the pieces, you understand this much better. Who will win this pawn endgame? White will win. Play it. What white will do is, he'll bring his king up, he'll play f4, he'll push, push, push. Of course, black will do something, I'll use my pawns. You can never create a passer here. Unless, of course, you are super careless. Your king is far away. And then black to play and win. Do you know? Everyone must know this. Sorry?
B3.
B3?
B.
B3 as white?
No.
Black to play. What is this? You are giving up another pawn.
B3 as white. Now A3.
A3. And I take.
And now C3.
Beautiful. Right? And in this way, when 3 pawns are opposite 3 pawns, it is a very careful position to be played. White can just play A3 and just be safe. Right? Yes?
No.
Again, C3.
C3? That's why I'm saying that to come here, tomorrow also it's there. Sleep and come, okay? So you'll be fresh. C3, yes, of course you play C3. Then you are safe. A3. So is black winning at all cost, even if it's white to play? Yes? Yes?
No, take. We can take B3, so we can play B3.
We can bring the king back, yes. That's very sad. But why not B3? B3. Sorry? C3, A3.
Then we capture the.
This, I take this. If you take this, I take this. But I can play B3, and now you cannot make a passer. Because if you take here, I take back with the, towards the, whatever he takes back with. Correct? We just take it back there. So, if you imagine, black made all these moves. Push, push, push. And white just does this. And there is no way to create a passer. So in effect, this structure is not very helpful, while this structure is very easy to create a passer. So now you understand what is it that that white is playing for? White is playing for an end game, right? A pawn end game, which is very far away, but still, if you keep that in mind, maybe you will know which pieces to trade, which pieces to play with. Got it? I'm so used to a computer, I would do just Control N. Here I can't do it. Okay, so coming back to what Lasker and Capablanca wanted. By the way, Capablanca was an amazing endgame player. He was one of the greatest endgame players that ever lived. You know, when I was growing up, my first book was Capablanca's Best Chess Endings. Is it here? Is it there in the Temple of Chess? Has anyone seen this book? Capablanca's Best Chess Endings? No? Is how many of you have come to Temple of Chess for the first time? Wow. Oh, you brought 14. Wow. So all of you have to come again. Okay? It won't be as crowded. So here there are a lot of books, and one of them is Capablanca's Best Endgames, and it's a nice book. Okay? You have to read it. So Capablanca played bishop d6. There's one knight less. Lasker went knight c3. Then the knight came to e7. बिशप तो निकाल देते हैं ना, है ना? और ये नाइट भी, सॉरी. White castle, black castle, and white played the move f4. Crazy move. He wants to push the pawn forward. Black went rook e8. Also a good move, because e5 there is bishop c5. So now the question is, after rook e8, he went knight b3. If I am careless and I play the move bishop e6, then maybe my bishop can get in trouble, although there is still b4 square. But he played f6. And now, white to play, what will you play here? This is, you know, one of the things I wanted to do was show you positions with moves that made a huge impression on me. Like if when someone says Ruy Lopez, this position comes to mind. It's such an iconic position. And I'm going to show you more such positions today.
Sir, maybe F5.
What? Who is it?
F5.
F5. You see, F5. Can anyone tell me why this is a bad move?
Sir, the knight will
Overextending the pawn.
G6. That is knight is blocked. The black
E5.
This pawn is there, so this knight cannot take it.
E4 pawn is a target.
E4 pawn is a target, very good.
Backward.
E4 becomes a backward pawn. What else? E5 is a weak square. Why is it a weak square?
Because there are no pawns that can control that.
And it could act as an outpost.
Which one?
E5 is the outpost.
E5, very good. So maybe knight c6 to e5. Very happy. Also the bishop could sit here, no? Permanently. Does everyone agree F5 is a bad move? Yes?
But it also restricts black's bishop and knight to
Yes.
So do you think F5 is a good move? I don't know. It restricts. There was also a point to be made that F5 restricts the knight and also the bishop. By the way, we should give a round of applause to him, yeah? He has a very good intuition. Should we give him? Yes. What's your name? Prathamesh found the move F5. And this is actually the move that was played in the game by Laskar. It looks bad, but actually it was a very nice, decent move. I mean, it was at least a good move.
Sir, even the bishop file open.
Now you will see all the good moves, yeah, because Laskar played it. But yes, it's true. Sorry, will a3 be a good move instead of f5? But you have no threat with a3 because e5 is still not possible. I'll take and take bishop e5. So it's a little too slow. f5, there's one very nice rule. Again, it's not a rule. It's a good to know thing. When your opponent has bishop pair, what should you do?
Close the position.
Take a bishop.
And?
Take a bishop.
I will close the position.
Take the bishop. When your opponent has the bishop pair, snatch one of his bishops.
No, trade the bishop.
Trade. Oh, you said trade. Very good. Trade one. Ah, yes. Be Anish Giri. Yeah. You know Anish Giri is going to come here in 4 days. Yes, in Mumbai. But should we call him to Temple of Chess? There is no enough space only. We have to build a bigger Temple of Chess for him. Sorry, we need Phoenix for Anish. We'll ask him if he wants to, if he has time. But if you are not Anish Giri, you can't take a piece. You have to trade, and this would be nice because let's say after trade, black is lost the bishop pair.
White bishop is very.
It's a bit limited. Correct. Black bishop is bit passive. Sorry, when? Right now or first it's black to move here. I played f5. You want to play c5? It's a good move.
Yeah.
c5 is a good move. In the game b6 was played, which is also a nice move, and suddenly all the people who are saying this bishop is bad, suddenly it will come here and it will open up.
But then the dark square bishop won't be that good. Like if you can restrict the bishop
So
from
right
coming
now
to e5.
he played this, okay, and now Capablanca made a big mistake here. He played the move bishop b7. He was like, my pawns are doubled, I will undouble them. If Laskar takes here, I am so happy, right? My pawns have become undoubled.
But what about that knight?
We'll find some space for him. Maybe c5, knight c6, something we'll find. What was the move that here Laskar played? Rook d1, okay. Rook d8, I defend, and now
94.
knight.
A4.
Oh, knight a4 maybe. Sorry, knight a4. Can I go b5?
E5.
e5?
Then they will take the pawn and then we will take the rooks and then put the pawn.
How?
Pawn can take that.
How? If you play here, I just take. I'm pawn up.
I didn't say that pawn.
Here, instead of rook d1, first he played the move, and also rook d1 is fine. Knight d4. And now you see that actually chess is a game of giving something and taking something. When you give something, you also get something, right? So what did white get for giving up the e5 square? e6. And this is sometimes very important to notice. What can you get in return for giving something?
Don't they have the light square bishop?
They have, and I think he should have gone back, which is a bit sad. But okay, you can play bishop d7 and so on. But Capablanca was like, oh, I'll put my rook here. The knight jumped in, rook d7, and already this position had become very, very bad.
What if he had played bishop c8 instead of 28?
Yeah, he could have played. He was maybe very slightly worse. Black, but it's not so bad. This position is playable. This one. It's a playable position. It's not like, but this game is a very iconic game. It's one of the famous games. It was played in this tournament of St. Petersburg. If you think about it, back in the day, like right now, there is FIDE, right? FIDE says that we are going to do a tournament, and then everyone comes and plays. And in the if someone else does a tournament, like let's say Norway Chess, they will write to all players through email. But back in the day, to gather all the top players of the world was very tough. And so this St. Petersburg tournament was a very, very iconic tournament that happened in 1908, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very big tournament. Okay, you guys will read about St. Petersburg tournament. Who won it? You will tell me. I have a feeling Laskar might have won it, but you can tell me. Capablanca won. You have to tell me next class tomorrow. Okay. So that basically we have some idea of the exchange Ruy Lopez. Exchange variation of the Ruy Lopez does not have a good reputation anymore. Not a very good reputation. I would say it's still playable for white, but not many top players choose to play it. Let's look at it a little bit more deeply to understand why. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, bishop B5. There is this move, knight F6. It is called the Berlin. Okay, why is it called Berlin?
Because of a wall.
Germany.
Yes, because it was played in Berlin, right? See, chess openings are named after a place or a human being. But the thing is, this opening became very famous because of Vladimir Kramnik. He played it to beat Garry Kasparov. And when this opening is played, often d3, bishop c5, bishop takes c6, d takes c6. This is one of the main lines that is played.
But isn't the open more famous?
Sorry?
Isn't the open more famous than the anti-Berlin?
Yes, it's more famous. But here, if you see, why does white go into such a position when we know that giving up the bishop is not a very bright idea? Of course, by the way, just so that you know, this is not a free pawn. Why?
Same. No, that won't happen.
This time you will win a lot more than just a pawn. There is a mate threat and this is hanging. So clearly you don't want to win this pawn. But the main idea here that white is saying is that black's knight is not very well placed here. Why is the knight not well placed? Yes, if the knight was not here, you could defend the pawn with f6. But because the knight is here, yes.
If the knight takes the e pawn, if I want, then the black plays the queen d4. Can we play bishop e3?
Yes.
So QX.
I always used to think about this a bit.
QX.
Use the PC.
QX.
And bishop, knight.
And then d4, I used to think like, oh, is there still some hope? But then I realized that maybe none. And then I take here. And black is better. In fact, black may be just winning, yeah? Rook f1, bishop h3 might be very strong. Okay. So, this is played often here, this structure. But if you go back here and you play this one, a6. Sorry. Then this position, black is saying that, hey, I don't have my knight here anymore, so I don't have to worry so much. You know, he may not even put his knight here on f6. He can put his pawn here. By the way, a very famous line, which maybe you all can think about, is bishop g4. Have you seen this move? And when white, now you cannot take the pawn, your queen is hanging, so I push the bishop, and where does the bishop go? h5. This is playable, but then I might go even g4, and then I might
Sir, he builds a tempo.
take this pawn,
It is a tempo.
and it could become a bit risky. Yeah, you cannot take this pawn because of rook e1. It is very dangerous. Look at this. And then when you move the bishop,
And it's easy.
yeah, you can win in 100 ways. Yeah, not 100, but maybe one way. Take. Yes, you will win. Okay, you can take the bishop. But the point here is not to go bishop h5. But what is the move? No.
F3.
This is like, if you play this, white is like, you don't have the bishop pair, you don't have the pawn, you have the doubled pawns. Why did you play this way, right? This is like you got nothing. You know, there is always value for things, right? How many of you traveled by train and came here? So a train ticket will cost you 10 rupees from wherever you come, maybe 15. If you come by cab, it will cost you 500. Imagine that the cab is also very crowded like the train. It makes no sense. No, the value is different because there it's better. You can come maybe with 2-3 people. Train, it's crowded. Here, if you are going to give me this, then now white is better clearly. Because all things equal, white structure is much better than black. So you must keep your bishop. And so black plays this very interesting move here, which is crazy move. Fishing pole? Yes? Fishing pole. Yes, you know?
I know.
Yes.
I know the trick.
Fish. Now I take. You take.
And now the file is open for the yeah, queen h4 after the knight move.
Rook is like on his initial square. I got the most beautiful view. It's the room with the best view on the board. I take here, and how do you finish it off?
Queen h4. Right.
You guys are all monsters, huh? What if I play f4?
G3.
G3?
Yes.
Why not checkmate me?
No, then king to f2.
King can run. So G3. This is a very nice move. And you take away this square, and now what does white do? There is no way to stop. Resign. Nice move. This is how sometimes being greedy does not work. So white has to be careful, you know. But it's a good opening for black actually. This is a very nice line because even if your opponent is not very greedy and does not take here, it's still a playable opening. Okay, so you can try. I think the best move is d3 for white. Then black many times goes knight e7. I think bishop e3, knight g6, knight d2. They just don't take, because the moment you take opens the h file. It is so powerful that you don't even take there. Yes. Why?
Because but after knight e7, why can't you capture h into g4? Yes. After knight e7.
Okay, let's see. I take. You take
Rookie 1.
Rookie 1 or knight e5 now.
Bro, you're giving your knight.
Knight
I guess
H2.
you want to
Knight
take, right?
H2.
Yeah, take.
No sir, knight H2. No sir. Knight H2.
So clearly this was, I think what I should have done here is started off with bishop d6. So d3, bishop d6, or maybe better, sorry, knight is, I should play queen f6 first. And then bishop e3, I think knight e7, knight d2. This is how it's a normal position. Okay. So study this exchange variation in the Ruy-Lopez, which starts from here. Remember, in chess, one of the most important things to do is follow the rules. No, not be excited. Okay, interesting. Not to be greedy. That's good for life as well. Yeah. Do not resign. Yes. But if you want to become a good chess player, understand the position.
Don't like finish calculating at your.
Very nice. We can already write a nice page of all the rules that we learned today. But one very important thing which I have seen in all top players is they work hard, but they work hard on their own. Yeah, they are very inquisitive. They have this question, why not this, why that, and when they go back home they try to ask these questions, right? So whatever I'm saying is not the final word. You know, when I was like your age, I used to read books and I used to think, wow, if someone has written the book, must be very intelligent and smart. Now I'm writing books and I know that I'm not smart. So the main thing is to question always, to not accept. Say that, oh, I don't agree, I think white is nice here, I will play this tomorrow. Right?
So they don't study from the engine.
Don't study from the engine, or use engine when you feel like, for example, Gukesh, when he was growing up, he didn't use engine till a point, till becoming a grandmaster, right? So he found his own path. But someone else used engine. Maybe Arjun used engines. He reached 2800. So it's your path. You have to find your own path, okay? And you have to ask questions. Okay? So the next question to ask is, can the bishop go back? This is the main line of the Ruy-Lopez. Now imagine b5, bishop b3, okay? b5, bishop b3. Yes, I got a good tempo, I gained space. So now the question to all of you is, why should we play the Ruy-Lopez, bring the bishop back here when clearly it is on a good diagonal, but you gave 2 extra moves when you could actually play the Italian on the 3rd move,
So their wing pawns getting.
so that you help black. So that black is your, black is my friend. I want to give him 2 extra moves, because then,
Bishop D5.
yes,
No, because they are wing pawns together.
wing pawns get open. What does that mean? Wing pawns are open.
Sir, Bishop D5.
Bishop d5. What is the bishop doing here?
And then we can push the pawns and then.
Bishop B5.
Come on.
Pawns don't.
Let's. You remember what is our way of understanding a position? Remove the. Okay. Don't do this in a game, okay? Do it in your mind. How does this help?
White is much better.
Can anyone tell me how does this help white?
Pawns are.
Over it.
Sir, they are passers.
They are
just get
passers.
too exposed.
Pawns are dislocated.
Like they can use it to get their king ahead. Just to expose.
So black is fine, right?
Pawns are dislocated.
Black is happy, no, with this, you are saying, or not?
Because black has.
So the entire concept of Rui Lopez is pointless. Because see, no, like on move number 3, you could put your bishop here. Instead of that, you put your bishop here, push, 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 and come back.
If you play a4, if black takes, the pawns are isolated, or if they push to b4, we can play a5 and split the
But
pawns.
they don't necessarily need to react.
They will be bad later.
That's a very good point. Look at his point. What's your name? Himesh. Can we give a round of applause to Himesh? Very nice, Himesh.
But they don't need to react to it.
Yes, that's true. They don't need to react. But the main point here is with a4, if imagine now we put a rook here, which is there generally,
Okay, then that's true.
and black's rook is here on a8, which is generally the case. Now you will notice that for black, it's a little bit of a tricky situation. Because if I take here, rook takes, what has happened? Your favorite isolated pawn is back. It's a weak pawn, right? And imagine that if I don't take,
I lose my rook.
then I'm threatening take, and rook generally hangs. So black often responds back with rook b8. And now what has happened?
White got an open.
White got the open file. So actually, for just provoking your opponent to play a6, b5, often people play the Rui Lopez. Crazy, right? Oh, did you know this? No? This move a4. So generally when we look here, we will be able to understand some depths of the position. Let's go further. Okay? Let's go with more moves because we can learn a bit more. And I want to show you one of, like I have few games, but I want to show you one of my favorite games. It's a modern brilliance in the Rui Lopez. And it is one of my favorite games in recent times. You know who played it with white?
Hikaru. Hikaru.
It's an Indian chess player. I have games of Vichy, Magnus, everyone, but this game is by one guy called Nihal Sarin. Do you know him? Do you know him? He's an amazing player. And when I saw this game, I was stunned. Okay, we'll see what happened. He played this against, yes. Oh, sorry. I love this bishop so much. If I had this, I think this might have been a nice way to play. Then I have another bishop and I would put it here. You know, but anyway. Which one? We have this supply. Bug house. Bishop a4. And then the knight jumps to f6 generally. Okay, again the same thing. This pawn is still not possible to take because after takes, knight e5, we have same queen d4. Okay, so the knight is still, the pawn is still protected. What does white do? White now, what should be the other logical moves? Let's try to think. Because you know, opening play is a lot. Everyone should say one move here, okay?
D4.
And everyone should say one good move, but a different move.
D4.
There are not so many good moves. NC3,
C3.
not a bad move. Not a bad move. C3, I guess it's okay, but maybe you lose this pawn. You have to be careful.
D4.
G5.
Castle.
And G5, why you want to go here?
C3. Like, if they want to, if they pick out the bishop, we can play b3 and like.
But is your opponent your good friend right now? What will he do?
The knight.
I will. Then you have to come back. Right?
Sir, d3.
You have to plan well. You can't go alone. If you go alone, you will be kicked away. So first maybe you bring your bishop, then bring your knight.
D4.
D4 possible, but D3 is definitely playable. Knight C3 is definitely playable.
Castle.
Queen E2 is definitely playable. Very good.
Castle.
Bishop B3, you have to be careful what to do about knight E4. This time you might lose a pawn.
Castle.
Sorry?
Castle.
Castle is the main line. So these are the possible moves. Okay? Can black take this pawn now? This is the question to ask.
Rook e1, knight f6 and then knight into e5.
Yeah, okay, great. So rook e1, knight f6, knight e5, knight e5,
Rook takes.
rook e5, bishop e7,
Keep the bill.
d3. d4.
QE1, not a bad move, yeah, very good. Keeping it,
Intact.
keeping me from castling. So maybe what I should do, I should be a little bit more careful, and when you play knight takes e5, I should directly play bishop e7.
Nah.
And maybe this position,
Sir, then what do you
Take-
play? NF3.
sorry,
NF3.
you want to go back?
Yeah, but
Then I'll castle, no?
then it's a pin.
Which pin?
Luke is pinning the bishop to the king.
Yeah, but I'll castle now.
What if instead of knight f6 we play knight d6?
Knight d6 is also playable here. But I want to just play this. So the thing is, here there is a better move. By the way, is your neck paining? Yes. Do you want to sit somewhere else? You can also stand somewhere, or you can stand here. Yes. Please feel free. Whatever you guys want to do, please. If you want to stand there.
No, it's fine. I'll
So castles, knight takes e4 is, by the way, a very good move for black.
Knight c5. Knight c5 does it.
Knight c5 भी जा सकते थे यहाँ पे if we wanted. The main move for white here is, imagine rook e1 is not the best move here.
Sir, पर rook e1 best किया है, फिर black का खेलेगा।
Black क्या? इधर rook e1 को?
हाँ, अगर white rook
Maybe this is not a bad idea. Knight f6, knight e5, bishop e7. But also this may be worth exploring. Because knight c5, knight e5. Now you can't win the bishop because I'll take and you will lose the queen. I can play bishop e7 and you will lose the bishop. So maybe it's a good way to play. Yeah? But there is a very strong move that white has.
d4. Knight takes e5.
Knight takes e5. Can I not just take back your knight?
Rook e1.
Yes, re1. At the very least. d5 would be a small problem. Why?
Bishop is giving a check to the king.
Okay.
F5.
I'm not a big fan of f5 actually because of d3. And now suddenly it's like the king looks weak. Maybe not f5.
Queen h4.
Sorry?
Queen h4.
Queen h4, not a bad move, yeah. Very nice.
g3.
g3.
Knight takes d3 then.
No, knight, this is not bad. g3.
नहीं, अगर knight takes g3 तो first rook takes e5 होगा.
Yeah, everything is bad. Maybe just simple move.
Then queen-
Sometimes,
queen G4.
sometimes we don't have to try too hard. No, like we not just play simple chess. Bishop
Sir?
E7,
Sir,
Rook
after
E4.
queen H4,
Yeah, 1 second. Knight G6, and then I castle, and then I play B5, Bishop B7. Let's say, for example, D4, castle.
sir,
Yes.
then the bishop will go to B3.
To B3. Yeah, possible. It's playable. This position looks fine for both sides.
What if we don't play the d pawn and play QE1?
But now the knight defends the bishop, so I can castle. So here the move knight takes e4 is known as the open Ruy Lopez. It's a very, very famous line in the open Ruy Lopez, and white goes for the move d4. Now, yes, because after e takes d4, this is a, oh sorry, where is my knight? Yeah, knight is here. This is a blunder.
Anyone?
Why?
I mean anyone.
Now rook e1, and if I play d5,
So take right. And
Bishop into C6.
yes, you can take, or knight takes d4. Pin, threatening f3, big trouble. Okay, so taking the d4. Now this, you know, often this is what I want you guys to go home and try to observe a bit. This taking of the pawns in both the situation leads to very interesting struggle. Sometimes you can take, sometimes you can't take, sometimes it's a blunder, sometimes it's a good move. So when it's also थोड़ा physical fitness के लिए ऐसा tough है ना ये इधर बैठना. Knight e4, d4. What should black play here? He goes for the move b5. So the bishop comes back, and now I play pawn to d5 to place my knight, to place my pawn and defend the knight. White takes. What is white's threat now? What is hanging?
D5.
This is something that I always remember. The d5 pawn is hanging, so what should black do? Bishop e6. And this is one of the tabias of, what does tabia mean? Do you know? Tabia means a well-known position in the opening. This is one of the tabias of open Ruy Lopez. It's a very well-known position. It's been played many, many times. And I will show you one game later in this. It's a very famous game of Vishy Anand and Garry Kasparov.
Knight G5.
Yes?
Knight G5.
You know this game?
Yes.
Very nice game. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. Maybe we can even see it now. So, Bishop e6, Knight d2 was played there, I think. Knight c5, attacking the bishop. c3, and here the move was d4. And this was a very famous line, and by the way, there is a very famous game of Kasparov and Anand in their World Championship match. Do you know they both played a match? You can go that side, yeah. How about we have a standing class? They played against each other in 1995 at the World Trade Center. Not in Kolaba, in New York. Okay, and they played, I think, on the 105th floor or something there. And it was a very famous match where Kasparov was the favorite, and then they played 8 draws. Imagine, yeah, now you saw World Championship match between Gukesh and Ding. Everyone saw? Yeah. Imagine back in the day, 8 draws. between between Kasparov and Anand, and then Anand beats Kasparov in 9th game with a beautiful exchange sacrifice, and then Anand is winning. He's leading 5-4, and then Kasparov comes next day, beats Anand, another win, and then he goes on to win the World Championship match. And one of the wins is this one, where he plays knight G5 here.
Queen into G.
Yes, that's the beauty. Take, and what's the move for white?
N4. Queen. N4. 94.
Should you end your calculation on your move? No. Opponents. So if you think knight e4, then you have to think one more move ahead. Nf3, then think ahead. What will black do? Knight takes. Knight e4. Then knight takes. Oh, takes. Bishop takes queen.
Sir, NF3, NH, QH,
C into D4.
and NX, H4.
C into D4, knight into D4, then knight to F3.
Okay, I'll take with the check, maybe it's possible, or maybe I'll do something else. So he's saying CD, but I am not even forced to take here. I can just go back. I'm a piece up.
Knight
Come on, it's a very simple move. Very simple move. Knight B3, I just move my queen back. What did you gain? This is defended.
Knight F3. Knight E4, then the queen moves back and there.
Yes, be precise. You are piece down.
Knight F4. Sir, QF3. Knight E4.
Can we open the window? Maybe it's okay now.
Sir, QF3.
Now they stopped working. Sorry? Yes, very good. Queen F3. Fantastic move. And suddenly it is impossible to save the, because if you save the knight, the rook is hanging.
And then we will reward us check.
Yes. So that's this is the reason why in the game Kasparov went knight G5. Yes.
What do we play after Queen D7?
When?
After all that,
So knight queen G5 takes. You'll take here, right?
But shouldn't we like play Queen F3 directly instead of H3?
We could also.
Because then we have Bishop D5 when there is King D7.
No, he cannot go.
Bishop D7.
King D7.
No, Bishop D5.
Bishop D7. The king is opening the maybe.
Yeah, this looks very scary. Yeah, like.
But sir, Bishop D7.
Maybe bishop takes bishop.
You are saying Bishop D5.
Yeah, then the
No,
pawn
bishop
saves the
takes
knight.
c6.
It's also nice move.
Maybe bishop takes c6. Bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6, queen f7.
Yeah, that's
Bishop
also
takes,
good.
Bishop takes, pawn takes.
Again, end the variation on your opponent's move. Check Bishop E7.
Then knight e4.
94. Queen D5.
Then maybe something like knight f3, bishop g5.
C into D4. But next.
No, then maybe knight f3, queen moves back and bishop g5.
Yeah, try to think carefully. But I guess here there could be.
Sir. C is after C into D4. After that, if we go no knight into B3.
I was wondering if I take,
Knight into B3.
take,
Queen to
check. He just goes back here. Yes. What if That's why maybe, what if I take here, and now queen f3, right? We were thinking of this. Even here we should consider king d7. We did not. But then queen e7 back.
Sir, first knight d4.
maybe she
If it goes
Now we play
queen
knight
e7, then
C takes
take pawn. If it is now
C
knight
takes,
d4.
c takes d4 is also a nice move, by the way. Because if knight takes, there is a rook hanging. And if you move your knight, where do you move? I might even push d5 next. So let's say if you go with your knight to b7, I can go d5. And already you are in some big trouble. Because
Sir, from here you can't take a knight.
even this is,
You can't take. No, the first sir, you can take knight.
I can take here maybe.
Now, okay.
This looks so dangerous, right? But maybe
So black will.
King takes pawn.
Sir, king takes pawn is okay.
king takes pawn is also possible.
So black.
But maybe I can,
Knight
maybe
takes e5 here, no?
knight takes
no.
e5 d.
Then qxb.
It's also
We played d5, no? d5 is
d5, knight e5, d6 check. You might have to go back.
But sir, knight e4 is also interesting.
Yes, knight e4 is also good. Maybe knight b3 is also nice. In such positions, just look at the position. If I have one pawn, but look at the king. It's a terrible king. There should be very good compensation. Imagine I move my bishop here, rook comes here, other rook comes here. I'll try to push forward. Okay?
But was it important to trade the bishop?
Yeah, it is possible. Even if you don't trade, it's playable, I think. So you have to look into this question whether it is good to trade or not. This is a very good question asked by, what's your name? Advit. Advit has asked a very good question whether it was important to trade or not. And Advit, a very good idea is to check it out on your own, whether it is good to trade or not.
Sir, so there are multiple threats. Even there was a threat on the queen and the rook. So could we just align the king on a front with knight controls, and then we can take double attack and then take.
Yes, but unfortunately the knight was always defended, no, with the bishop. So you could never win a piece. The queen would just move. So knight g5, I think in the game takes, knight e6 maybe, fe takes, and queen d3. This is the game that was played and it was very famous. You know, after queen d3, Vishy Anand, and let me see if I've got the position correct because I don't want to mess it up. Sorry?
It is already messy.
Yes, it's very messy. Nahin chalega ye. Yes, we got it right. Here, Kasparov played a move that was a shocker for Anand. Because until now, everyone was thinking that this queen is well placed. Black would many times even long castle here. But Kasparov played his bishop back to c2, and this was a move that was given by Mikhail Tal. And the beauty of this move was, after queen takes c3, what should white play here? Because you are already losing material. Knight b3. Okay, queen h5 doesn't help because
Knight to b1.
I could also do this.
Bishop into g6.
Yes, take,
Queen captures. No, rook.
take, but then I take your rook, and then in the end you are not very happy because your piece down.
Bishop A3. Bishop A3.
Yeah, bishop A3.
B1. The bishop is pinned. The bishop is pinned there, so we can.
QC3. You can flag the queen for bishop.
Not so happy.
N2 E4, N2 E4, N4.
Yes,
E4,
this is hanging.
E4, Q E6.
Any for then
I like how you guys are trying still.
any for QXA3, QXA3.
We can take this knight and then.
But who will allow
Take,
you
I'll
to
take
that?
this.
QXA3.
Yeah, take.
Then we can play N
Check.
E6.
You are almost about to checkmate me, yeah. But I don't know if you will be successful.
King here.
No. King up is a
Queen to
blunder.
H7.
Yes, blunder. How? Check.
No.
No. Queen to G8.
Now
Queen
queen
G8. Queen G8 check.
Queen G8.
Queen G8.
Queen to H7. Queen to H7.
Queen to H7.
QH7. King
And now Queen to D.
Queen D7.
Queen D7.
Rook D1. Rook D1.
Rook D1. King.
King to नहीं.
King.
भाग गया.
Knight F8.
Bye, guys.
Knight F8.
King is saying bye.
Knight F8.
Running away.
QG8.
Knight E8.
Knight F8.
Okay.
Sorry, E8.
Knight E8.
Sorry, and Knight E8.
But try to see if your opponent can just stop the mate on C7. Yeah.
Rook
If,
A7.
to A7.
Rook A7. Rook D7.
अरे Queen to A5. Queen to A5.
If Rook A7, then Rook D7.
and then knight takes D7.
Arey.
Very good.
So the thing is, this was all pretty well-known stuff, right? At some point, everyone thought it's not a good idea to give up the pawn here on C3. But when Garry Kasparov played it, it was a huge shock because everyone thought, oh my god! And this was, I think, one of the most. There is a very recent video, I think, on Take. There is a YouTube channel. They have published. David Howell has made a video on this game. You can check it out. So knight b3 was played by by Kasparov. Anand took bishop b3, and now it's like a free rook, but you realize that it's not so simple.
Sir.
Yes.
That bishop takes pawn.
Queen G4. Bishop takes pawn. No, then Queen G4.
Queen g4 maybe long castle. You're not afraid.
Sir, bishop takes pawn.
Bishop takes
Queen
pawn.
f3 may be a possible move. Yeah.
BX E6. BX E6.
Bishop takes pawn. Sir, queen takes E6.
When
Non-classic queen takes e6 after queen g4.
Queen g4 long castle, queen takes e6, king b7,
BX
Then
E6.
bishop d5.
Then this move.
rook d5,
If the king moves on. But there is
rook takes.
There's a queen on e6.
Yeah, queen takes, and piece up.
Queen F3. Then
Sir,
bishop will play king D7.
Also like here, we must not forget. Perhaps the queen can come back.
Sir, instead of
So you have to think.
Sir, if
Queen f3. I like this move more. Queen c2. Wow. What's this move?
no, sir. We didn't move a knight.
threatening a forecat trapping the queen.
Can I do this? Is it too much?
No, then maybe.
So queen f3
No, yeah, queen to D2. Queen to D2. No, if we play that, we can play DC.
Sir, what about bishop takes pawn? Bishop takes pawn.
Which one? But then that's not enough, no? Like you are rook down. You are rook down. Don't.
Maybe yes, sir, to D8. It also threatens a checkmate.
Which one?
The next pawn.
Bishop
to D8. Sir, but it has a possibility to knight capture the pawn. So we have to pin the knight for. Then G.
हाँ.
G6. पर check.
Queen F3 का आपने क्या बताया?
Yeah, Queen F3 looks like the best move to me. Actually, this might be the move. If you play Queen A1, the best move is actually check. Queen F3 is also possible, but you can give a check first,
QH5 and then
provoke G6, and then come back.
QF3, then maybe.
Now F6 is weaker.
And imagine you are playing a world championship match, and your opponent is blitzing out these moves, Gary Kasparov, and he used to know what he used to do. He used to be it used to be inside a room, so he would make his move, and he would go out and he would slam the door, and it used to affect Anand quite a lot. And so when you play chess, sometimes there are all these wrong mind games being played, which you should never play. Yeah, okay, Anand is perhaps a very gentleman, yeah, like he did not want to complain. Yeah, he doesn't do that. So, but one thing which all of you should remember is never try to win with unfair means.
Yeah.
Okay, never try to move the table or disturb your opponent, kick him under the chair. All of these things are not good. Okay, if you do that, you will never become the world champion.
Gary Kasparov ने तो वही किया.
Gary Kasparov would want to differ to me on this. Yes, it's possible. I think in general you have to choose whether you would like to do that or not. So in the game, after bishop b3 here, it was already clear that Kasparov had the edge. No, I think this is the position. And then what happened was knight d4 was played. By the way, it's an incredible game. You should check it out later more in detail. Queen g4. Just an absolute crazy move.
It is threatening Queen X, QX C6.
No, it's not. It's not. The knight is defending.
But the rook is still hanging.
He took it. Anand took.
But now bishop is
Bishop is check. B3.
He now took. And now if you take with the knight, I take with a check. And then if bishop here, it's already bishop g5, rook is attacked and there is a big problem. So he played rook d8.
Now then they can play bishop h6. BG5.
Bishop h6, what sort of a move is that?
bishop takes g7.
BG5.
Bishop takes g7 and if they take queen takes g7 and queen f7
Bishop g5. BG5.
bg5 is what perhaps Vichy was also expecting.
Bishop A3.
Bishop a3. Bishop a3 maybe take.
And then take the bishop. No sir, this is the movement.
Or I can go back. And if you take, I take back. I don't think it's a mate, right? Or is it?
No,
It's a mate.
sir, bishop to f7, kx
QF7
f7,
and QF4.
No, that doesn't work. But bishop g5 is not a bad idea.
Yes sir. BD7, B7, BE7.
No, queen is hanging.
QF4.
Queen f4
Sir, NC2.
check and you lose the queen.
Sir, NC2.
nc2, but your queen is hanging.
Sir, defends the
Then
queen.
maybe king h1 and then QF.
Yes, but the rook will take it.
King h1 and then QF4.
The queen will capture the pawn.
It's too slow. I think here maybe I can even do this perhaps.
Sir,
And we have two pieces for the
Take.
take.
Take QG4 maybe something like that. No, but then bishop f7.
RD1.
rd1 c5.
Sir, QG5.
QG5 I can play maybe
Bishop C1.
Bishop
C8,
E7.
Bishop C8. Bishop C8.
Yeah, but okay, it's not a mate, right? Is it?
Queen to C6.
But the only move is to move the queen up.
हाँ तो QC6.
And then we will play rook D1.
QC6
And logging the pawn and then
It's a nice move actually.
QC6 RD1 BC5. QC6 RD1 BC5.
Sorry?
QC6
King
RD1
E7 also is mate.
Mate, yeah.
No, sir. QC6.
QC6 QC6 maybe, yeah, not bad.
okay, sir. Then rook D1.
Sir, QC6
Rook D1, Bishop C5.
Sir, QC6 mate.
Check.
QC6.
Check.
This is only.
Sir, QG7.
Yeah, QG7, Rook E8.
Which one? Arey, why do you care about the?
Sir, rook C1.
Sir, QX7.
Yeah, this is hanging. So the thing is, it's a very interesting position to calculate, but here the move that white played simply stunned everyone. Try to think what is the move that Kasparov played here.
Yes.
Sir, let out and slap the door.
So I took, sorry,
Let out that slap the door.
that so he has to make the move, no? Only then he can do that. White to play. There is no doubt of what a great player he was, right? As a player, there was no one. If we count like top 3 greatest players in the world,
BE3.
in the history of chess, maybe Magnus, Kasparov and Fischer would top the list.
ID1. Morphy is another.
RD1 also possible, but I'll maybe C5.
QF4.
You know what he played here? Shocking move. Imagine such a move being played in World Championship match.
BH6. BH6.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Well done. It was an absolute shocker.
Acha, if G pawn takes, then queen to H5.
Yes.
Rook into
If
A1.
GH, then check and mate. But the point is now the queen is hanging. So Anand had to save the queen, and also giving up the queen for the rook makes no sense because the attack still continues.
Then G6.
But the queen is also hanging. So
Queen takes F1 G6.
he actually had to now play
Queen C3 B2.
queen c3.
But if there would be no queen, then it would be mostly a chess.
Bishop takes g7. Again, when you move when your g pawn is gone, what is the threat now for white? Check and mate. So Anand had to play queen here.
Then how can
And then he took the rook. He played queen g6. Queen takes, pawn takes, and in this position, white is a pawn up, and Kasparov converted this endgame. It was one of the most beautiful games played at World Championship. Okay, and it happened in which opening? Sicilian.
Wait, this is black to play, right?
9 game match.
No. Bishop g7, queen d3, bishop h8. No, wait. Queen here. So this was the position. Queen c3, bishop g7, queen d3, bishop h8. And now queen g6. It's white to play. I took, and now white to move. And I think he had played bishop h3 here maybe, and then he pushed his pawn. Anand also had his play, but Kasparov won. Let's go back.
Sir, who won that year's championship?
Kasparov won. He won it, and it was an amazing match.
But in the next one,
He also played one dragon game. that game is something which is worth studying.
Dragon Sicily.
Yes, it's an amazing game.
But in the next World Championship, he won, right?
Vishy Anand won in 2000, his first world title. But at that point, the chess world was split into two. So in 2000, Anand played the FIDE World Championship and won, and Kasparov played against. Who was his opponent in 2000? Do you remember?
And
Kramnik. And Kramnik beat Kasparov. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castles. We saw knight takes e4. It is called the open Spanish. Oh yes, we have to remember Ruy Lopez is also called the Spanish. So this is the open Spanish or the open Ruy Lopez. But now the closed one. How do you play it?
Bishop to e7.
Bishop to c5 is what?
Bishop to c5 is also a very well-known line. It is the archangels. But maybe you start with first b5, bishop b3 and then put your bishop here. This is also a very well-known way to play for black. Very active. If you want to play something active, this is the way.
So now we played d4
d4? Yeah, okay, but I'll take.
with the pawn.
Could be with the pawn as well.
No bishop.
It's also possible. I have two and you have not enough to
To
recapture.
centralize the knight in the middle game because
What is the best way for white to play in such positions? Anyone?
Maybe something like d3, knight
bishop.
d3.
Open the five.
You want to play this move. How to prepare it?
C3.
C3 with the idea of D4. So archangels
It's kind of
happens this way.
Why did he not play knight takes c4 instead of g4?
Very good question. If knight takes E4, I'll still play D4. And it's the same problem. Because if you take, I'll play rook E1 and then this is open. You have your problems. By the way, here's a nice question for all of you. If I play C3, D6, H3, okay, just why is knight E4 a mistake?
Bishop d5.
Yes? Very good. Very quick to spot. Another nice tactic. Double attack. Attacking here and here. Another tactic which you should know. Another tactic which you shouldn't fall into as black. Guys, you will fall down there. Yes. You will right now slam that like Kasparov.
There is another double.
Yes?
And now
Yes, this is angry. Correct. So here, the move that a lot of people play is bishop e7. And the idea is that if you take now, take, again we have to always calculate. Black will play what? This time maybe not queen d4 because he's castled. I'll take here rook e1, knight f6, and we see the value of the bishop being here, right? So all the moves have some logic. It's not without logic that a move is played in the opening. Bishop e7, white played here the move rook e1, defending the pawn. And now what is my threat? If you play castle, why is this a mistake? Bishop takes, pawn takes, and now it's a free pawn. It's a free pawn. So very good. So here the better move here for black is now, what should black play? B5. Bishop B3. And black now has two ways to continue. Okay, let's reach. This is the main position, okay, of the opening. Should we start from the first move so that you all remember how this was reached? Does everyone remember? Because we went through so many moves. E4. You tell me the black move. Knight F3. Then
Bishop B5. A6.
I don't want to play immediately.
Knight F6.
This is a better move.
Castle.
Castles. What does this? What is this?
This is Ari1.
Open Rai Lopez with the move D4. Remember, Anand Kasparov. Anand, sorry. D4, B5, Bishop B3, D5. Takes, Bishop E6. Right? So, not open, but Bishop E7. What should white play now?
Ari1.
RE1. But also, playable is D3. This is also played. Rook E1. And after Rook E1, B5, Bishop B3, and we reach this position. Is this okay? Now black has two main moves to play here.
BC5.
Well, do you want to move your bishop which is already developed in the opening again? It doesn't look great. Bishop B7 is an interesting move.
And even D6.
D6 is a very good move. What else? Castles is a very good move. You know, castle is a very nice and interesting move. And also D6 is a very nice and interesting move. After D6, black has a small positional threat. What is it?
D knight is hanging.
Which one? Where is it hanging? Who is attacking it?
G4.
Knight. But if you play knight G5, I'll just, what should I do? Castle. And then you take here. I take, you take. This is supposed to be very good for black. Because I got two pieces for a rook.
Two minor.
Yes, two minor pieces often trump the rook in a middle game. So here, if I am not careful as white and I make the move, let's say D3, what can black play? Sorry? Very good. Knight A5. And why is this such a good move? This bishop is a very, very important bishop. It's called the monster rocket, as Harshit Bhai likes to call, or the Spanish bishop, the Ruy Lopez bishop, right? We started off with this. It's our main bishop. It's looking so beautiful here. So giving this up is really, really not good. So then a question is asked to, comes to my mind, that after B5, Bishop B3, why not Knight A5 now? I can win the bishop, right?
The bishop is supposed to move
Where?
D5.
But then the knight, they will take it. What is the problem here? White to play?
Bishop takes F7.
No.
The knight into e5.
This is a free pawn. And I'm very happy to give up my bishop for one pawn. But
But Rama not the bishop takes f7 and then knight takes e5.
And so even if we
but if you take this, it's just something very nice to see, but it's very bad, no? After king f8, what did you gain?
nothing.
I mean, you gained some compensation because you are.
Now we can
you-
win the knight by the queen.
Yes, it's not that great. It just feels good to say. But here,
The knight takes.
when black played d6, what did black do? Protected the pawn. Once you protect the pawn, you are threatening to win the bishop. And so, what should be white's best move here?
Sir, c3.
Maybe c3.
A3.
C3.
Sir, c3.
This is, by the way, a good move. This is also possible. And also,
Sir, I know c4.
Which is the best move?
c3 is the best move. Why is c3 the best move? You make square for your bishop to come back,
And also d4.
And also prepare c4.
and you are actually, sorry,
Why not c4? But
d4.
c4. Whatever
made
it is,
d4 an
not-
outpost.
Because we can
D4.
pin the knight, right?
Then
C4.
d4 is an outpost.
c4.
d4 is an outpost.
Acha, हाँ.
Yeah, you weakened this square a bit. And now what should black do?
Knight and then pin.
Knight a5 is not a bad idea. Very good move. Another good move could be, when this square is weakened, how can we take advantage of this square?
Knight c4.
When something is weak, if we go there, then it's no longer a weak square because now our pawn sits here. What is better to remove this?
Bishop g4.
Very good. Bishop g4. And now my knight wants to jump in. Okay? Very good. So c4 is a little bit of a rash move. It weakens this square. c3 is a very nice move. With the idea of d4. Black castles.
d4. d4.
Now I'll just make a small comeback here, and instead of d6, remember I had said there was one more move that black could play instead of d6. What was it?
b7.
And castles. Now when black used to castle, white would often play the move c3 with the idea of playing d4. But there was one very crazy guy. Yes, he was an American. His name was Frank Marshall.
That Marshall.
Marshall Gambit. You know Marshall, there's a story, I don't know how true it is. He was such a genius, he used to get opening ideas and great ideas when he was sleeping. So, sorry? Who, Ramanujan? Maybe. I don't know if he was also getting while sleeping. He also used to get ideas, I know. But maybe sleeping. Yes. So what Marshall used to do is he used to sleep with a notebook and pen. Yes. So that when he got a dream, when he would wake up, he would write down then. Yeah. Does anyone get any chess dreams?
Rarely.
To Gukesh? That does he get chess dreams? I guess Amruta might have asked. This is very Amruta-like question. But it's true, yeah. Like chess dreams come to a lot of people who practice a lot, and they say there is a goddess of chess. You know what's the name of the goddess of chess? Ravana's wife. Maybe, yeah. That's a interesting. Oh, maybe she told. Could be. I thought it was Kaisa. Kaisa is the goddess of chess, but maybe this. And maybe it blesses those who practice hard. Yeah. So if you practice hard, then maybe when you sleep, Kaisa might come and yes. He's blessed.
1250. Bro, I literally lost 100 points in 2 days.
Where?
Chess.com.
That's okay. You will gain it back. So Marshall said, all this is boring, man. What is this? Slow. This is Chigorin used to say. I will come back to this. Chigorin used to like to move his knight here, then push his pawn, then bishop, then queen. And Marshall was like, I will fall to sleep on the board. I want to give a gambit. And so he just pushed the pawn forward. And Marshall Gambit is one of the most
Powerful gambit.
powerful
By
but
black.
also one of the most well researched gambits in chess.
Even for and for black.
For black, yes. Take, and what is the gambit? Where is the pawn hanging?
Knight E5.
Knight takes pawn, knight takes pawn, rook takes pawn, and now
D6.
very important to save your knight. C6.
There is anything. By queen.
No, this is there no.
Or,
D4, bishop D6, rook E1, queen H4, and this is how Marshall used to love to attack. G3, queen H3.
Then maybe bishop G4, bishop F.
Yes, exactly. This is a big threat now. And mate. So you know what white plays here?
yes, queen E2.
Yes, this is one way. Maybe queen F3, queen G2 is one. But there is one insane move. Be creative. Sorry?
Queen D3.
Queen D3 also may be possible.
RE4.
RE4. Who said RE4? Very good. RE4 is a very interesting move. Because I want to put my rook here. Also I stop bishop G4. And you know what is the best move for black here?
G5. G5. Ah, bishop. Capture.
G5.
F5. Bishop captures G3.
Bishop G3. Why?
G5.
G5, bishop takes G5.
Let me fight for fun.
Maybe
Nothing on G5.
Maybe something like F5 or H5.
Knight. Knight F4. But what if I take with the bishop?
E5. Knight F6. E5. Knight F6. Knight F6. E5.
BF5. BF5 is possible. It's such a nice move, but it's such a bad move.
R2H. Rook H4. Queen trap.
Ooh.
Then Knight F6. Knight F6. Knight F6 is a better.
Such a bad feeling, no, when this happens. That's why what you should do,
Calculate on the
end your calculation with. So if you don't end it with your move, but opponent's move, you will see this move. Okay?
Sir,
Then Knight F5.
G5, what is this? If I take it, sorry, bishop E7,
Then Knight F6.
F5 का कुछ हुआ नहीं, यही प्रॉब्लम हो गया. तुम pawn रखो, bishop रखो. Bishop E7, I'll take the knight, no? And then you will lose the bishop.
तो NF6 का क्या हुआ लेकिन?
NF6 is playable, but there is, you know what is the crazy move here?
Sir, Knight F6.
But you are saying that bishop G5 is.
Yes, exactly. But that, I never said this is the end of the line. Black to play.
And F6. F6. F6 to F6. Sir, F6.
No. F6, I'll move the bishop.
Oh, double attack.
What is this famous thing?
Double attack.
Double F.
You're coming in the camera.
Sir, Q, G4.
Yes, very nice. Queen G4 saves both, but there is a bishop here.
Yes.
Don't forget. So, this and this both are hanging. Unfortunately, you can't save it.
You know what on the D square.
Sorry? Sorry. There's no way to save it. Queen H5. I take your rook.
Free rook.
So now,
Bishop 10.
G5 was played in this very famous game and which we will see tomorrow maybe. Kramnik versus Leko. Do you know Leko?
Yes, sir.
Peter Leko is one of the best commentators in the world now. You have heard his commentary, he is so passionate.
He was commenting during OK versus Team.
Yes, he also right now in Prague when we were commentating, he came and he joined one full day. He was amazing. So much knowledge. In 2004, he played the World Championship match with Kramnik. You know, Kramnik beat Kasparov in 2000, right? So then Kramnik played with Leko in 2004 and Leko almost won it. And this game was very famous because Leko with black beat Kramnik in this very famous Marshall Gambit. It's a great game. We will look at it tomorrow.
You beat him.
Sorry?
You beat.
Yes, Leko won this game, but in the end Kramnik became the world champion because it's such an incredible thing. It was a 12-game match, I think. 6-5, Leko was leading with last game. Kramnik had to win with white and he won. And back then the rule was whoever is the world champion, if the score is equal, retains the title. Unfortunately, no tie breaks. So Leko was so close. You know, this is the thing in chess. Someone misses the world title by like a very small margin.
Ding.
Yes, Ding became no world champion.
This year.
Okay. This year he was, yeah, it would have been so nice if there were tie breaks, no? Because it was coming so close to tie breaks.
Bro, one in accuracy.
Okay. So now, what's the time? 8 ho gaya? Okay, great. So then we have to continue tomorrow with the story of this amazing game that we are going to see. C3, we looked at Marshall with D5, but there is also D6, and then we continue. It's the main positional Ruy Lopez, which happens as I would love to remove the pieces. And we will look at this structure tomorrow. This is one of the richest structures in the game of chess.
White will
There are so many ideas here because white can play take, play with this structure. Black can play take, C5, D5. We can have this very famous Benoni-like structure.
Sir,
He's
there will be a
almost
pass
equal.
pawn got here.
White will have
Correct. It's a majority versus central. White can often try for F4, opening up the position.
F4, F6, or maybe even
Yes,
F4, F5.
I mean it will depend a lot on the piece placement. White can also push D5 to close the position.
Sir, black can pull their king out. Black king, and then they could go from the king side.
Yeah, it's also possible to play here. Also, this is a very common idea to break. We have been always talking about this. We will look at this. And so, once you understand the beauty of this structure, you will realize that there are many ways to play. And I would highly recommend all of you to look at these few games that we discussed today. One is Anand Kasparov, Anand 1995. Okay, try to check it out. Then which else game did we see? Which one? Leko Kramnik, yes. If you see, then tomorrow we can look at other things. You can look at Leko Kramnik game. Very nice game. Where can you see these games? You can search online or you can see in Mega Database. There are many. Capablanca, Lasker, very good. Lasker, Capablanca. YouTube में भी रहेगा ये सारे games. These are all famous games. Okay? Did you like it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. Did you enjoy? Was it very tough?
No, sir.
It's nice.
Complete easy.
Okay. Then we'll meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.